Good morning, Hellions. This is your video guide to Sunday's rehearsal. We'll start off with as torrents. We want to keep with that shape and that vertical space. As torrents. And then we want to wait for beat 2 to put the TS of torrents on. And then the same thing for in summer. We want to shape and have that vertical space. Then we want to make sure that on key words, we do the fish mouth in the second syllable. And then we want to make sure that we put the fish mouth on in key moments. First, the very first measure, torrents. Then on rise and sky. And then rain. And then later falling. All of those fish mouth. Then make sure that you have the breaths marked on the second verse. I have it as the third page. And they that behold it and know not. So in measure 27 and 30, there's an eighth rest breath. Then let's go on to seek him. We'll start on page 15, measure 60. That maketh us 7 stars. Make the vowels as long as possible. The tendency will be to go, that maketh, but we want, that maketh us. And then as we make those vowels long, we want to keep the whole thing lilted and light. That maketh us 7, that maketh us 7. Okay? Then make sure you go over the rhythm. If we started at the top of page 16, maketh the 7 stars. Seek him, seek him, seek him. That maketh. So those rhythms, most of you know because we've done this before. If you haven't, listen to it, sing along with it. Then on the bottom of page 17, soprano 1s and 2s, your divisi tenors. In measure 92, you have a high A. Be wary of that. And then on page 18 and 19, we have more syncopation. Seek him, seek him, seek him, seek him, seek him, seek him, seek him. That turneth the shadow of death, or death, or death, of death. Make sure you go over that. Then, on the second page you sing, measure 9, there are really long phrases. You need to know where to breathe. Mark those. Breathing in the middle of a note is a very good time to breathe. Basses do not breathe at the end of this before you go to the C. Make a connection there in measure 14. Then we go to spotless rose. Again, we need to keep lots of fish mouth. Spotless rose. Fish mouth on the very first word, on the very second chord, the first syllable of spotless. Flip the R of rose, round your lips on blowing. Flip the R of sprung, flip from. Diminuendo at the end of the phrase, tender root, while you pucker. Then take out the dot in measure 4 and make that an eighth rest breath before of ancient seers. Know how the text lines up as he promised fruit. Then from measure 7 to the end, we need to check the notes here. Check the divisi and the altos, and then put the divisi altos together with the tenors to make sure you have those dissonances right. Then on the next page, we have 7/8 meter, 5/4 meter, and we need to make sure we do that right and put an HW here on which and whereof. Then we'll go to the Hodie. Make sure you keep it hyper articulate. Hodie Christus natus est. And make sure you crescendo on the Christus and have a violent flipped R. Again, you can't hear yourself as the audience hears you. What you may think of as a big flipped R in your head might not get out to the audience. So overdo it. Make me tell you, oh, it's too much. That's a situation I'd rather be in than not enough flipped R. And then make sure you articulate all of those 16th notes. Even though there might be a slur marking, basis it's Hodie salvator apparuit. Then go on to Cyberbase and plow through these notes. We will work on rehearsal 1, 2, and 3 and try to get to the bottom of page 51, but your help in advance would be great. Make sure that it's Hodie intera. In is in. Then we come to Omanu mysterium. Again, we need to have hyper articulation, especially since we're outside. Oh, should be like this. Not only because the rounded lips help it sound better, but it's also part of the drama of, oh, mystery. What is going on? Omanu. Pucker on the neum. Mysterium. Flip the R. Pucker on Et admirabile sacramentum. Glottal every word that starts with a vowel. Et admira. Flip the avra. Again, stuff you've heard before, but you can't do it enough. You can't articulate enough. When we get to rehearsal 3, Poulenc varies it. Be ready for those new notes. Go to Cyberbase and get to page 36, second system. It's absolutely beautiful. We want to be able to get through that and hear those gorgeous jazz-like moments, harmonies, and lines, vocal lines. It really adds to this movement. So we want to be ready to go for that.